everybody? Devil's Advocate here. You know what I find almost astonishing is the fact that it seems like the mainstream media is so behind the curve on all current events that it just doesn't make any sense. And let me just go ahead and expand on that idea a little bit. I'm pretty sure most of you by now know that the mainstream media has finally gotten around to talking about Hunter Biden and his dealings with China and being a vacuum cleaner for his father. You know, just raking in millions upon millions of dollars from foreign countries in exchange for exposure to the Biden family and the Biden name and the Biden leverage and all that other stuff. And the question that everybody's asking, even alt media, is why now? Why now? Is it because that Biden is the proposed winner of the 2020 election? Now mainstream media feels comfortable covering the investigations regarding Hunter Biden? No, that's not what it is at all. Absolutely not. Now, this is another one of those things where I have no proof. If I look tired, I apologize. I'm exhausted right now. But this is one of those things where this is just my analysis on what I think is happening. Because think about it, if mainstream media, Hollywood, Tex, if all these people are in the pockets of the Democrats, or let's just say in bed with the Democrats, right? The Democratic Party. Why at any point come out and cover it? If they've been suppressing all this dirt on the Biden family for this long, until before, all the way before the election, suppress, deny. They've been doing that for months. Shit, in some circumstances, years. So, if they're for Biden, why come out and CNN is actually bringing it up now? Why talk about it now after the election is over? Any ideas? So supposedly the question is why. Nobody knows why. The answer is obvious. The answer is obvious. This goes back to the whole idea that Joe Biden was never anything. He was never supposed to be anything other than a Trojan horse. Nobody ever expected Biden to remain president of the United States of America. Nobody. Maybe he did. Maybe his family did. But the Democratic Party absolutely did not. So, they used Biden to just get Trump out of the way, right? And Biden was the perfect Trojan horse because he's a completely compromised individual. You use somebody that you can leverage, right? Because think about it this way. Joe Biden was the perfect candidate for the DNC because he was up to his eyeballs in corruption. And everybody knew it. See that? Look, get this, just use him. This dude is expendable. Joe Biden, you're expendable. You might think you're important. You might think you mean something. You don't mean anything. We're just going to let you believe that you mean something so that we can use you as a sacrificial lamb to get the Democrats back into office. He's the perfect scapegoat. Joe Biden was the perfect scapegoat to get the Democrats back into office because he's in a perfect position to where he could be removed. And I brought it up in a previous video that I said that Nancy Pelosi and company were already tossing around ideas behind closed doors on using all this stuff to impeach Biden as soon as he became inaugurated. They want, this goes back to the other common knowledge, they want Kamala Harris to be president of the United States. So what do? You got all this dirt on Joe Biden, but it's not going to go away, right? Trump is using it, and DNC is using it. They both sides have their reasons for wanting this information. The Trump campaign wants this information out to prove that Joe Biden is not a suitable candidate to be the president of the United States. The DNC wants that information, but they want it suppressed. Remember, timing is everything. Timing is everything. They just keep this shit under wraps until Biden wins presidency. And once he's inaugurated, or once the elections are over, we can start talking about this stuff. We can start planting the seeds in the American people's idea. Blame my last. We can start planting the seeds in the American people's minds that he's unsuitable. He's unfit to be president. Trump supporters already knew for a long time that he was unsuitable to be president of the United States. Hell, a lot of people on the left knew he was not suitable to be president of the United States. But then you have people who wanted Trump out of office so bad that they just voted for Joe Biden anyways, even though they had little expectation for Joe Biden, which to me is completely irrational and nonsensical, but I digress. So the DNC is like, yeah, we know what's up. That's great. Great. We know all this already. But we just need to keep this stuff, keep a lid on it until the right time. And once the election's over, we'll let this stuff start dripping out. We'll let all mainstream media cover it. Because you got to remember, if the mainstream media is finally covering it, that means the people who are in bed with the DNC are finally okay with this stuff coming out. Because Nancy Pelosi and company behind closed doors were already pondering ideas on what they were going to leverage to get Joe Biden out of office. It's either going to be one, his incapability to proceed as president of the United States due to mental or physical ailments. Remember, she talked about that. And he's like, "Oh, this has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is for future presidencies." Yeah, she was absolutely right. She wasn't lying about that. She was talking about Joe Biden. Or the family corruption. Those were the two things. He's either going to get he was going to have to transfer his power to the vice president due to mental or physical incompetence, or he was just going to get impeached and removed from office due to family corruption. Those are the two cards that the DNC were going to play to get Joe Biden out of office. I say word, but if Joe Biden gets into office, those are the two cards that they're going to play almost immediately to start getting him out of the way. Because they know, what do they call him? Not geriatric Joe. Status Quo Joe. Status Quo Joe. Because they know that. He's an old school Democrat. And he's not going to really go, he's not going to go too hard in the paint with all those radical left ideals. But Kamala Harris will. So they're going to get Joe out of the way. Use Joe to get into office. Get Joe out of office. Bump up Kamala Harris. And let's start this whole New World Order the Great Reset. Let's start all that other garbage. But yeah, so that's it. That's my analysis. That's why. That's why it's coming out now. Because now that he's been proposed as the winner of the 2020 election, which is still fake news, by the way. Now, excuse me. Now the DNC is comfortable with his shady dealings starting to come out through the mainstream media, so that the public can get more comfortable with Kamala Harris being president of the United States and having a unanimous feeling on both the Democrat and the Republican side that Joe Biden is just not suitable to be president. So to get him out of the way, put Kamala Harris in. Make sense? All right. That's all I got for you guys today. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If what I said made any sense, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comments below. Until next time, remember, be safe, take care of yourself, stay smart, think, use your brain. Peace.